Rust console's been out for just over a year now, so I thought it was about time I did a beginner's guide to help any new players join in the game. In this video we are going to cover all the basics to getting started in Rust console. We will go from being naked on the beach to having a fully set up starter base and being ready to take on other players. When you first load into Rust console, you'll be greeted with a screen like this. At the moment there are only official servers available, but in the near future there will be a community server tab right here, and this is where you'll find boosted servers with higher rates run by the community. So to start off with and get the hang of things, you're probably going to want to play a low populated server. So you can go on the official tab, use the filters and filter by most populated server, scroll all the way to the bottom of the list, and this is where you'll find the lower pop servers. When you first wake up after joining the server of your choice, you will be naked on the beach. It's a good idea to check your map and pick a rough build location. Here are some tips on picking this location when being relatively new to the game. Ideally, you're going to want to build near at least 2 monuments, also near a safe zone recycler, and you're going to want to consider your farming locations and how many neighbours you're going to have. Once you've picked this location, make getting to this spot your general goal. I don't advise building near the beach because that's where everyone spawns and you'll have a lot of grubs and low tier loot. While running inland, it's a good idea to pick up any nodettes you find laying around. The type of nodettes you can find around are wood, stone, metal, and sulfur. More than anything, you want to be gathering any hemp that you find laying around. Hemp gives you cloth and allows you to make clothes, weapons and healables. You also want to be farming any stone that you find. Stone is very important early game. It's a requirement to make tools, weapons and everything you need to make a base secure. The types of nodes you can find around the map are stone, sulfur and indeed metal. When farming any kind of node, be sure to hit the sparkle to gain more materials and make the farming process quicker. Here's a list of items you should be sure to gather up as you're running to your chosen location. A stone pickaxe and hatchet, a bow and some arrows, a building plan and hammer, 2 doors for the base, 2 locks for the doors, a tool cupboard, a small box and 2 sleeping bags. Also try your best to get up to 100% health using bandages or eating mushrooms. Mushrooms provide a high source of food and health and can be found in forests. When farming trees, always hit the red X's. Red X's will give you more materials and speed up the farming process. It's also good to note that when you take down a tree, it makes a really loud noise that everyone can hear from afar. So it's a good idea to get a lot of trees in an area weak and then hit them all at once. One last note is that rivers provide a high source of food and health. By now you should be at your area of choice. Now would be a good time to pull out your blueprint and hammer and start to throw down a starter base. I strongly advise your starter base being a 2x1 or a 2x2, which is literally 2 squares by 1 square or 2 squares by 2 squares, obviously with a triangle airlock added. I'll explain how a triangle airlock works in just a moment. When placing your doors, it's very important to place them this way round. You want the inside door opening outwards so that if your doors are ever open, no one can go deep on your base. This has saved me a number of times. Now that you've got your 2x1 down, upgrade everything to wood. Place your TC, a small box, and then place a bag. You're going to want to place the second bag outside your base somewhere so you've got 2 spawn points. Your goal now is to turn your base to stone. So if you don't already have the material to do so, head out and farm up some stone nodes. Also farm any metal nodes that you come across, because this will come in handy soon when you have your furnace. Pull out your hammer and upgrade the base to stone. Now your base is stone, you're going to need metal doors and a workbench. Both will require us to get a furnace. Head out of base and farm any barrels for scrap, components and low grade. Also be sure to loot any brown or red crates as these give you better loot and components. Along the way, be sure to kill and harvest any animals that you find. This will give you animal fat. Animal fat can be combined with cloth to make low-grade fuel. The animals you can find in Rust are chickens, deers, wolves, pigs, and bears. Bears will give you the most animal fat. Alternatively, you can use the shops at outposts to buy low grade. You get 25 low grade per 5 scrap. Now, assuming that you've gathered all them items and have gotten back to base safely, it's a good idea to craft a furnace and smelt up any metal ore that you've gathered. If not, go and farm some. By now you should have 50 scrap laying around and enough metal to place down a metal door. Unlock your lock, pick up your door and place down your metal door. And once enough metal's smelted that you can craft up a tier 1, craft one and place it down. Now you have access to the tier 1 tech tree. This allows you to spend scrap to learn items to be able to craft for yourself. Alternatively, you can craft a research bench, place an item inside the research bench, and then spend the required amount of scrap to learn that item. Now that you're all secure in your starter base and have everything you need to start your journey, you're going to want to start farming for a main base, so that you can eventually be more secure. It's also a good idea to work your way through the tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 tech trees to learn as many BPs as you can. The next steps after this would be doing keycard monuments to get better loot and better BPs. Some of the higher tier monuments that require cards are airfield, launch site, water treatment, and sewer branch. Well done for making it this far. You've now done what most consider to be the hardest thing to do in Rust, and that's get down a base and be ready to prepare your journey into the end game. That's going to be everything for this video. If I helped or you enjoyed, please drop a like, a comment, and maybe even consider subscribing. Until the next one, peace.